Yo, what's going on? You are now tuned in to the Inside Wolves podcast, your home for entertainment, enlightenment, where we discuss and give our takes on what's going on in not only music, entertainment, general news, and everything pop culture. Make sure you subscribe, share. Let's get into
Woke your apartment, your house, wherever you're staying at.
Oh Lord, what he about to say?
Everything is gone. Cabinet stripped, closet empty. Check your little stash spots for your money. Gone. Check everything it's gone. And then outside you hear a whole bunch of pandemonium, and you hear a whole bunch of all that shit outside. You go ahead and look out the window, and you see some goddamn zombies. What is one thing before you head out into this world to face these zombies and this zombie apocalypse you would like to have?
apocalypse.
One thing you could have in this apartment. You open up the underneath the sink and you got one thing in there.
Wow.
Anything you want, whether it be resources, whether it be a weapon, hell, it can even be a dog. Whatever it is you want. What's the one thing you got to go ahead and start off this journey for you?
Oh my God, that's it. If I had one thing,
You got the wrong G in your hand, yo. I'm trying to have a God. You know what I'm saying?
That's who you want.
I need God underneath of that. You know what I'm saying? Because he got my back. Won't he?
I mean, he will.
Yes,
So you gonna run out there, nothing, just Jesus.
a swarm. They gonna run into a swarm of zombies and pray. He just gonna get down praying. All right. Okay.
Brother zombie. Let me tell you something.
Hey, Quinn, man. I'm walking out there with Bible in hand.
Man.
Singing hymns. You know what I'm saying?
I respect the faith, man. Goodness, because that
gotta have it, man.
Wouldn't be
gotta
me.
have it.
Would not be me.
Nah, bro.
Hey, man. So what you bringing then? If it ain't gonna be you, then what you bringing?
Oh,
or what you gonna have? What's
I'm
there
thinking?
for you?
I'm torn between two things, so I'll just go ahead and leave it in a toss up. And yeah, I would bring a spear.
A spear?
Mm-hmm.
Jinx. I hate to be that guy, Juan, but
yeah,
Jinx. Jinx. I'm sorry. Yeah.
In all sincerity, and the only reason I want the spear is for fun purposes. In all sincerity, the reason I say fun is because oddly enough, I'm not too fearful of too many things really, and at all. But there's two things that I really like that bother me to the back of my head, to the bottom of my core, bro. Spiders and a zombie apocalypse. I don't fuck with either of those two things in particular.
That is a very big jump. That's a very big
those
jump.
Two things. Those are the only two things that'll keep a nigga up at night. Like spiders and a zombie apocalypse.
You got something that's very much real, and some shit that is highly unlikely.
Bro, because here's the reason why the zombie apocalypse sticks in my head is, well, one, I wouldn't say it's highly unlikely. That's one thing. I wouldn't say it's highly. Now, as far as the dead being raised, okay, yeah, for sure. But as far as like some mutant, like World War Z type shit, where some COVID catches a boost to COVID-20, and then it turns niggas into real zombies, I can see something like that happen.
You said it bumped up the COVID-20.
It hit an update. But then the reason it keeps me up is just simply because, bro, that's the end of the world, realistically. That's it. There ain't no coming back from that, bro. There is no like the movies. I don't really jack, bro. Like I don't think that there's some cure. I think that's just it. Like you might secure a city, you might be able to save a little place, but I think the world's over at that. Like, I don't think you can come back.
Will Smith
if
would
the
be
world turns into zombies. But
now.
I would be upset if Will Smith. I'm upset with him, but we're not even gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna get into that. But as far as the zombies go, I want the spear just because, man, I'm going out on some fun shit, bro. If I'm going to die, man, I'm going out on some fun. Bro, I'm going out like Rambo, bro. I'm stabbing, I'm throwing everything.
Everybody.
Oh, wow.
Everybody trying to, you know what I'm saying, stay safe. This nigga out there hunting zombies.
Bro, I'm gonna look crazy, bro, but it's okay because I'm gonna be out there wilding. And as long as I live, man, I'm gonna be living off that good adrenaline, man. I'm gonna be living off the good adrenaline.
You definitely the S word, Joe. You definitely the S word. The S
man,
word.
Shout out the Boondocks. Shout out Boondocks. Shout out the Boondocks.
I'm not worried about a situation like that because you pretty much see zombies on the damn metro train all the time.
I remember what was it? The bath salts thing caused some crazy stuff to happen some years ago.
Yeah.
People were eating that, and they was trying to bite people's faces off and shit.
You know what's crazy though? It's the crazy part is, like where it's talking about these spears, having the big GOD. And what did you say, Juan? You said you was gonna have what?
A Glock.
A Glock? Oh God. Oh brother.
Glock and spill.
All right, this ghetto Negro. God,
the Glock and spill.
but yo, it's crazy.
Better than trying to smack a nigga with a Bible.
Hey,
he's not gonna try and smack him. Bro, he's just gonna get eaten. They just gonna run up.
First of all, nigga, them pages are sharp as hell. I
give
have
him a couple
cuts.
me.
Die by 1,000
paper cuts.
Because if it'll be you know what I'm saying, don't let me have the new King James version. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard front and back.
That shit got some weight on it.
That bitch got some weight. Oh, I'm sorry. That shit got some weight, yo. That shit got some weight. Oh man, we geeked up, yo. You feel me, Now listen, but look, this is what I was trying to say on some real, yo. This is what I was trying to say. The amount of people that's actually about to give you some crazy real answers because all they do at home is play Call of Duty. They're playing Blackouts. They're playing zombies all day. Yeah. Like I promise you.
They've been preparing.
If we would have popped into a lobby, just and asked this question, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, give me my Pack-a-Punch. Yeah, no, I need that. I need that." It's like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna pack a punch. You know what I'm saying? If people when talking about something,
a Pack-a-Punch MP40. Yeah. It's like what?
Like what?
A Pack-a-Punch MP40.
We play video games too much, yeah.
And then that does lead me to thinking about the evolution of video games. And I kind of wanted your guys' takes as young adults. What are y'all thoughts on gaming, period? Like people who game. And when I say game, I'm not talking about the average. I'm talking about the gamers. Cats who really put in some work on these games. Really drop some bread on these extension packs and stuff like that. Like, what do you think about gaming?
Toxic. I've had conversations with a lot of people. I'm not gonna name any of them cats, but I've had a conversation with a lot of people about these damn Fortnite skins. You are a grown ass man.
Oh yeah.
Why the hell is your dollars going towards Fortnite skins? Hey man, you talking to me about? Hey man, you got 5? Like no, nigga, I don't got 5. You know what I'm saying? It's like you would have had 5 if you ain't buy that damn skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. It's not cool, y'all. It's not.
You need to go ask Epic Games for your 5 back. That's right. Who you need to go ask, not me.
I'm about to say, the Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate that you got, yeah.
Oddly enough, hey, I will say, just on the contrary, that is a good deal. that Game Pass is a good deal. I will say that.
Quite the contrary, I do have that hoe. I can't lie.
And that's the only
$9.99 coming out of my account.
As the only Sony nigga in the group, I cannot.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I cannot relate.
He was so bored over here. He was like, he was bored, Joe. He was like, what's going on? When are they going to talk about Spider-Man? That's all he has.
I don't got that shit.
Uncharted about Gaming 1. That was a good movie, honestly, by the way. Uncharted.
Oh, it came out. Mm-hmm. I think it's odd that they. It's very funny that they had. Right after Spider-Man, you want to portray him as something else. It's like, come on now, I can't see him as nothing else.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm about to say that
he's already hit that. He's already hit that for y'all. He's already hit that point.
Because he's been Spider-Man. He's been the same Spider-Man in like multiple different.
This is why I say it because he's character, he was Spider-Man in the digital era, man, and in the social media heavy era. that's why for me is like okay, like I literally can't scroll through Twitter without seeing his face as Spider-Man. Like I just it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but still, OG Toby. I mean, that's Spider-Man to me. I think of Spider-Man. I'm gonna tell you, Toby Maguire.
Mr. McGuire, Mr. McGuire.
Everybody forgets about the middle one. The nigga Andrew Garfield. Bro. Everybody forget about that nigga, bro.
I don't really like his movies like that.
I thought the Amazing Spider-Mans were okay. I didn't think they were spectacular by any means.
Trash. But they were okay. You running away from a big ass lizard and a.
Well, yeah, he just didn't. Yeah, he didn't have the coolest villains as well, too. Like the villains wasn't all that. You know what I'm saying?
They did short him on his villains. I will agree with that. They definitely did short him on the villains.
But I mean, he just wasn't like a real like. I don't know. He just didn't give like that hood fat that
he didn't give me that neighborhood friendly Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying. That he didn't give me that neighborhood Spider-Man.
You see, the way that it was portrayed. What was it? And I agree with this, and this is how I heard it, and I agree with this way it was broken down. Tobey Maguire did the best Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield, he actually did a good Spider-Man. His Peter Parker, in my opinion, was trash. He didn't do a very good job as playing Peter. And then the last dude, Tom Holland, he plays both characters, both Peter and when he's in the costume, both of them, he does very well. He does a good job acting in both scenes.
The Peter part, I think that's more so towards he is more dorky looking, like to fit the mold of Spider-Man, like a kind of dorky kid. Like that kind of plays into it as well too. Like his voice is definitely his voice is not as deep, like opposed to like Tobey Maguire. Like even Toby definitely had the geek thing going on too. That was he definitely had the but he was more person like his Peter Parker, in my opinion, was definitely the better one, just because like when you think of Spider-Man and you think of Peter Parker, it's like you think of that first. Like you think of Spider-Man. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, yo. The hardest, the black suit Spider-Man, that joke was hard. Yo. He was acting crazy, yo. He was on a whole different type of level, yo. The confidence was there.
Really, he had the hair. He had the bad boy bang.
Yo, this man
he had the emo bang.
I'm about to say, he looked like he was out there dancing on the dance floor, looking like
throwing women down. Bro, he was going crazy, bro. He was going crazy.
Yeah. Well, I will give it to gaming though for Sony, because that's the one game that y'all do got. That's
Spider-Man joints. What did you think about Gaming One?
Oh yeah, I feel it's a positive only if when it comes to like that spending money aspect, spending money on the game. If you can find a way to like make that shit back, just like how you got your different avenues of like, you got YouTubers that literally their career is to play video games and make money off of that. You got streamers, you know what I'm saying? So like when it comes to like that aspect, and you can actually profit off of a video game that you're spending like your actual money into, and you can find a way to turn that shit into a career, just like how somebody could turn like football into a career or basketball into a career. If you could do it like that, hey man, I'm all for it. Honestly, like I said, if that's your passion, and you could just find a way to flip that money back, I'm all for it, I guess. That's cool.
Hey man, I don't know. I think it's cool. Yeah, you get your money back and everything, but I definitely believe it leads to a very, very toxic lifestyle, man. And like, and Quinn knows that, man. We was trying to really be on that streamer type level when it came to and honestly still are, but trying to be on that streamer type level when it came to like 2K content, man, like playing with 2K, and they had to
everybody had to like
but it's like we had to really come to a realization that like, these cats, like, they're putting in hours. Like, this is what they do all day. Like we like we're at work to like living our like supporting our lives, living our lives, doing what we gotta do to support ourselves. Like, and no shade to any of them, but some of them, most of them are like in their mother's house, father's house, playing this like all day and trying to get money that way. And like, I was just like, yo, like, I don't know. I mean, that's just like and then you think about like the people in like 2K leagues, how they go to like those like they go to like the actual like gaming houses, and you like literally stay there. Like that's just
Yeah,
it's almost
that's
like your whole
wild.
day is spent inside because you're trying to get better at this one thing. It's like on top of that, just looking at a screen for so long period. I mean, that definitely is physically it's gonna be
Yeah.
damaging to your
Yeah,
eyes.
it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
I got a couple things to say for sure on that. So I'll start off by saying that um I think it's a positive thing. I think that the gaming is a positive thing because I definitely it would be kind of hypocritical for me to say it's not just simply because of how hard I went with it, but also at the same breath I can say going too hard with it, like you were saying, Javen, can really cause some real problems. And I'm not
yeah,
even talking of. And you brought up the health stuff about staring at a screen for so long and stuff like that. I
yeah,
wasn't even going to get to that. I wasn't even going to touch on that, but I'll get to that in a second. As far as health goes, keeps cats out of trouble, man. I'd much rather my child spend a lot of the afternoon or maybe even a good portion of the weekend inside gaming. But once again, where it gets negative is when it crosses over from a hobby or something fun you do to a lifestyle. And the only reason that it becomes a negative is exactly what you were just saying, one, which is where I would push back on the people. If you're able to get something out of it, I can understand. If you are
Yeah,
streaming and you're actually building a following, got you. If you're posting YouTube videos, cool. If you play professionally, like you're going to tournaments, like we were talking about, okay. But if you're just putting in part time to full time job hours and getting no return outside of the fact that your
yeah,
yeah,
character is upgraded more or you
yeah.
got a few extra things, and that was how you spent your
Nah,
Saturday,
yo,
and
come
it's
on, yo.
Saturday after Saturday after Saturday after Saturday, that is a very negative thing. And I will speak from
Yeah,
experience. I was putting in full time job hours back in middle school, high school, like 8+ hours daily.
yeah. I'm a
Bro,
slave in
there are
that
so
giant.
many things that like I missed and could have been involved in that I think are much more progressive for growth as a human being. Even if you're not a sports guy or a girl, at
hmm,
least try. Join a club. do something real life because the reward system from the video game when it becomes a lifestyle is not a very positive thing. And then on to what you said, Javen, as far as the negative effects, I'm not even going to touch the physical. I'm just going to touch on this. Upgrading your lifestyle is not as easy as upgrading your 2K player. And not only is that the case, but in real
yeah,
life, if you just stop, there is no saved data. If you just
Uh-huh.
stop going to the gym and then get back to it a month later, all that shit you did is going in the garbage,
yeah, shit.
especially if
Yep,
you haven't
Gone.
put years in. But in a
yep,
video game, you can do that. You can dead stop 5 minutes into playing and be like, all right, I'll be
yep.
back, and come right back to
Right.
that exact same spot that night.
Yeah,
That's a bad that gets into your brain, bro. That's not like a
yeah,
surface like you understand it, but like subconsciously that becomes a part of your characteristic. Like people start quitting on shit that they're trying to do
yeah.
in the beginning
Hmm.
stages because they're not good at it, or maybe because it's taking too long. But they forget, yeah, that's kind of how real life works. But you're so
Right.
used to upgrading your player $20
Yeah,
and boom, now
Yeah,
I'm already where if somebody were to take 2K for example, the amount of time it would take for you to gain the dribble skills of some of these players with like higher rating dribble packages, it would take you months, if not years, to acquire that skill
yeah,
level.
yeah,
Now you get the
yeah.
enjoyment of that for $20. And on top of that, you had to bust
It's
no
not the
sweat.
same though.
You
It's not
you
the
did,
same,
but
man.
here's the thing: for a non-athletic person, it is because they weren't going to do it other. They weren't going
I
to do
don't
it the other way
understand how.
anyway. Anyway,
I
yeah.
don't understand
A
how.
lot of
and
people
Like,
well,
like
here's
that
the
how
thing.
whole
you
I agree
how
with
you
you,
virtual.
don't get
Javen.
that
It's not
itch
the
though.
same.
Like,
It's
yeah,
not
like
the
you don't.
same, but it's much easier, and it
Cause
pretty
like
much
from,
gives me the same reward. As
cause like
far as
for
the
me,
chemical of
yo,
dopamine goes, you get the
I think
same
that's only
reward.
for. I think that's only. I feel like just like how Javen is about to say, like I feel like the reason I probably think the same way you do is when it comes to people who like actually play sports, it's cool. I mean, it's cool, what I'm saying, having that balance. But then like at least for me when I look at people who have like no like actual like real life interest in sports itself, but will be playing 2K like all damn day. That shit is crazy to me. It's crazy like how you
Hmm.
can like honestly sit in the same chair, same room
yeah,
on a controller for hours on a virtual player that
watch your
you
brain,
envision.
man.
You pretty much see yourself through this virtual
Yep.
character. You know what I'm saying? But knowing damn well you can't do that shit in real life. So I mean, if it's a balance, just like I said, if it's a balance, that's cool.
That's
But
all
when
I'm
it comes to
asking
the
for,
people
really.
who's like,
but
when they get to that point and you just like fucking socially awkward because you just
that
all you
happens.
know is the
That
game
happens.
or
That
you know what I'm saying?
happens.
It's
Yeah.
just nah, man. That's
yeah,
just
That's a whole thing.
definitely,
That's a
definitely know,
whole thing.
definitely know a cat like that. You know what I'm saying in real life. Definitely know a
It,
cat like that in real
bro,
life.
there's people that are much more articulate and much more bold in that sense, but it's stemming from, like you were talking about, a place where they're not like that in real life.
Yeah.
Where it stems from, bro, plain and simply, it's way too difficult to get that good at basketball. And not only is it way too difficult, a lot of the people that do gaming, not everybody by any means, but a lot of people that I'm aware of that do gaming, they're very logical people. And when I say that to say the skill of getting good in a sport, it doesn't really. I'll ask y'all because y'all two are athletes prior, but Javen, I remember you actually started playing on the collegiate level. And so I'll ask this: what good does, and I have my own opinion, but what good does, just as far as devil's advocate goes, what good does perfecting and really putting in real hours and real practice at basketball do if I'm not going to be above 5'5"? Just for instance, for a guy, what am I really doing? What am I putting all this time into this for?
I guess it more so comes down to just like you as a
Even if
person.
you
I
love the
mean, if you,
sport, even if you love the sport, that's where the question goes, because it's like
I
putting
guess
all
the
this
good of
time
it,
to be good at the park.
I guess the good. I mean, for some people though, like that's all they want though. Like they know, like
yeah,
they know, like okay, I'm not getting like me. All right, so look, me personally, because I'm that guy. You know what I mean? Like I know good and well, like I just with height challenges and everything, I ain't above 6 foot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like going to the league is very unrealistic. But it's like I love the game so much. It's just that I
yeah.
can't even let myself not want to even like be able to do that because like I was about to say like when I'm playing 2K like yo I can only play that joint like for so long because I literally get the itch like all right now I gotta go
I gotta
outside.
go. Yeah, I gotta actually play
I gotta
basketball
go.
now.
I
Yeah,
gotta see that shit go into
yeah.
the basket now. I have to physically see that shit because I can't
Hmm.
take this. James Harden is not doing it for me no more. I gotta go ahead and get this shit in the basket. So that's how I feel.
I
And
understand
I
what you.
mean,
I understand that. Yeah.
and that's how I felt when I was like growing up too. You know what I'm saying? With Call of Duty as well too. I was like, yeah, I got this 9 in my hand. I need that shit outside for real. So, you know,
So, are you? Do you think that these things influence people? Gaming, period. Do you think gaming
a
influences
hundred
people's
percent,
actions
Yeah,
and
100%,
behaviors?
100%,
Yeah.
yeah, man. It gives.
100%.
I think it gives people honestly like a username or profile or like virtual character to hide their
Oh
self behind.
man,
You know
hell
what I'm saying?
yeah, hell yeah,
Like, cause niggas,
yeah.
even like how we just talking about right now, like niggas know, niggas know, like you might be a 99 in 2K, but in real life your ass is like a fucking 59 overall, 60.
I was gonna
You know what
say
I'm
you
saying?
like
Like
a,
You're
yeah,
right,
you
hell
a
yeah.
62
you
overall real
can't,
life.
that
But let
doesn't
you, but
resonate
you can't
with
say
real
nothing
life.
about you
You
can't say
know?
nothing about real life to niggas on the game, yo. It just don't it
Yeah.
don't you know what I'm
It
saying? Like,
never.
you hurt, yo. It's just cause you losing, yo. It's just cause you losing. Now you trying to bring the real life into it, yo. Like you just ass. Like that's what they gonna say to you, yo. You be like, yo, you're 59 in real life. They be like, oh, look at him, yo. He bringing the real life into it. It's just a
Yeah.
game, you know what I'm saying? Like you did, like that's. But I mean, honestly, that's how it be though. Like. And
Yeah.
that's how I be thinking sometimes too. I be like, yo, I'm like, am I getting too old for this shit, yo? I'm
Hmm.
like, i I'm sitting on here, I'm like, yo,
That's how I was with once with like Call of Duty start bringing like that Warzone shit. I said this shit is like beyond me, bro. This shit is way. I'm not there. Like I remember, I'm like used to like Modern Warfare 3. You know what I'm saying? Just regular
Hmm.
multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? Just killing, just and that's it. But once they started doing all that extra stuff and you got all these other add-ons. I think at that point, that's when I looked at just even
Yeah.
not even just Call of Duty in a sense, but just video games, and kind of got to a point. I was like, okay, maybe I'm just not at that phase
Yeah,
anymore.
for
Like
me personally, when I left home, that's when it started. That's when, for me, I can't speak for others. I'll say, my personal feelings on video games officially shifted. Like I became like plain and simply, I don't actually, I legitimately get uncomfortable once I cross like a certain length of time on the game because I'm like, bro, there's a lot of other things that I don't have in life that I should be chasing. And even though I'm really good at this and I'm enjoying this is not fulfilling me, plain and simply. But also as well is because I mean, well, I'll speak on it from a standpoint of like being really good at a game. Okay, it's very it's like, I mean, people go to what they do really well. Don't nobody want to do something they suck at. And so I'll tackle it from two perspectives. One, I'll say what you guys both said are true, and I understand that because how, like I said, I'm even uncomfortable being on the game for too long of a time. But what I'll say is that not everybody has that same love for the game that you guys are talking about. That this is making me want to go outside. A lot of people are realizing, or not realizing, they know for themselves, I'm not really good at it out there, but I'm great in here. I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to go out there. Me killing it on here gives me more incentive to stay on here. It does not make me want to go out and make myself better out there because I'm starting way lower out there than I am in here. And then the second thing as well is, like I said, speaking from when you're really good at a game, a lot of people find that one game that they're really good at, and I know you've experienced people, they go on kicks with it. And I'm not even talking about Xbox, PlayStation. I'm talking phone games. Nigga, you should see some people's Crossy Road and Angry Bird scores. Like, bro, they be going, what? Like, you have got Bejeweled scores and stuff, bro. Like, they be going crazy, like, on those types of games. Like, once people find a lane with that kind of a thing, they go crazy. And I'm speaking from experience because I used to be like that in Call of Duty. For people who actually play Call of Duty, having a 2.0 and above KD, and my shit was well above 2.0. That's really good.
Man, Quinn was definitely a killer out there on the field.
Was definitely like I3.
That's what I'm like. That's his crazy. But here's the thing, right? That what people don't understand from my perspective, when I wasn't playing Call of Duty, I was watching YouTube videos about it. When there weren't YouTube videos up about it, I was watching people stream it. When people weren't streaming it, I was talking with friends about it. That's kind of like it becomes that like I have an addictive personality personally, so that's why it was so hard for me. But that kind of thing, bro, when you get good at something like that, and especially it's so easy to get good at a video game. It's only pattern recognition, really. It's super simple. But
muscle memory and shit.
Really. Yeah, I'm saying that you just gotta really pick up on the. Nonetheless, once you get really good at that, bro, it just draws people in. And I agree with that, man. It really does influence a lot of behavior, creates a lot of socially awkward people, a lot of lazy people as well. I agree that it's good for stress relief, but please just keep it at that. Don't use it to escape reality. Yeah, don't use it to escape reality, especially if you're not getting nothing from it. No money, no notoriety. If you're just putting in some money and hours and then you just turn the game off and that's that. Not worth doing.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I was gonna say about it is something I just really realized is that they make it so much easier. Like I swear now, for you to be young and be playing an M-rated game. It was an M-rated, M-rated game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like especially now, and I literally it just dawned on me. I'm just saying there like, yo, you used to have to go in the store and actually buy games. Show your ID if you were if you were above 17.
I remember. I was just about to say that. Yeah,
you could literally buy it on your Xbox.
They don't sell discs.
No, just buy it on your Xbox. You know what I'm saying? And just make sure that when you set up your box that you ordered and you put the age order there. Yeah. Like that's crazy.
I remember asking my mom to buy Saints Row. Like, because I was too young, obviously. I asked her, like, hey, can you buy this game for me? It's not GTA. Although it's worse depending on who you ask, but still, it's like that was a thing. Like you had to ask for that. Like, I need some help, and then they would know what kind of game it is because they got to get this shit. They don't just hand you the card and be like, "All right, go." Also, as well, like you were talking about, it changing people's behaviors. I think that is really bad. The fact that and I think that this goes for more than just gaming, but it desensitized us, man. I think that there's a much higher threshold for violence in our eyes, and even just blatantly disrespect from peer to peer. Like how you even speak to people is now being much more drastic, desensitized to a lot of shit.
Them lobbies became kind of wild, bro.
I was gonna say,
like I laugh off racist comments. I laugh racist comments off, bro.
It was
I mean, I
crazy.
was
so
I was
used to it.
laughing at that when I was like 12 though.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
but
Like
but
that.
but, but the thing
That's
about that is though.
weird.
But it's crazy. Yeah, but just about to say that's weird that you have to
That's
do that at
that's
12 years old.
weird.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
gotta, you literally like, and that's what those lobbies was full of, yo. And that's what I'm just like, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what those people are like today. Like you was 12, saying here calling me the N word, shouting out, you know what I'm saying, just like whatever, over getting killed in the video game. You know what I'm saying? Niggas die every day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, real
outside
shit.
on the real. I'm gonna say, but you
Mm-hmm.
ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing about that. Like, were you outside? So like, what do you? And that's the other thing too. Is like, what type of person are you outside? Like literally outside. You speak like this inside, but are you like that outside? Because I know
Yeah.
damn well you was not. Because if you was, and this would be on your ass.
Yeah.
It'd be on your ass real quick if you was talking like that at school. You know what I mean? So that's just like I said. I feel like ultimately there are some very goods and you find the positives in it. One of the big positives I know for me was that I literally say this every single time, and it's crazy because that's just how life is sometimes. And you got like when you live in certain places and things just like certain things pull people in different directions. If it
Mm-hmm.
was not for Xbox, I promise you, I probably would not be. I still would not be friends with Quinn. I probably wouldn't even be here doing this joint today. Like that's real shit though. And that's the only reason why I actually keep my Xbox because I outside
It's
of
a good
that
social
niggas do
network.
not.
It's a
Yeah,
real
it
good
is.
social
It
network.
definitely
That's
is.
something
If
I
you
think
got
parents even take for granted. Like, bro, we was on there, man. What a lot of times they was just sitting on the dashboard chopping it up. Like,
just
Cash wasn't
chopping
even
it up.
playing any
Yeah.
games, just
Yo,
talking.
sometimes niggas still do that. Like, especially now we
Yeah,
grown, like
still.
we older
Oh,
now.
way
It's
more
like
now.
way more.
Not
Like,
more often, but like
yeah.
we do the
Mm-hmm.
chopping it up thing way more than we did then. Back then, it
Yeah.
was very game related. Like everybody's hopping on to play something. Now, cats are hopping in the party just
Now
to
I will
talk.
say though, I will say, them Xbox parties used to be some of the most toxic things I've ever been a part of in my life as well
Oh,
too. I
hands
definitely,
down, hands
I'm about to
down.
say yeah, definitely got my feelings hurt. Definitely hurt
Oh,
some
hands down.
feelings, and like it's yeah, that's a real war right there. Yeah, that
I
prepare you
think
for
I think
anything.
that's one thing that always like when it came to like them lobbies, bro, and you and like in there with your partners, bro, anything goes, bro. Anything goes,
Yeah,
bro. Ain't nobody feelings getting spared, like. But I mean,
no,
shit was
No.
cool. It was
none.
funny. You know what I'm saying? It was funny back then. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? I might play a game. You know what I'm saying? Get killed on
Yeah, I don't
Call
want
of
to hear
Duty.
none of
I got
that.
a
I don't want to hear
I
none
got
of
a
that
little
shit.
11-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? Just cussing me out. I'm like, damn, yo, that's wild, bro. Like,
Right.
why you that good at 11? I don't get it. I don't get that shit. But I mean,
Yo,
I
because
guess
especially now,
that's just the era that the kids are in now, man.
see now
Well,
you
no,
can
because
play
that used to be
your
us, you
video
know.
games on your. Yeah, I mean
I was
yeah, to
outside
some
though.
degree,
I was
to some
outside though.
degree.
Oh
Like
no,
these
I'll
kids
say for
now, they
myself.
like,
Yeah, no. Well, oh, you're right. I'll speak for myself.
Well, me,
That used
I
to
was,
be me. I used to
I was
be
gonna
that
say,
good then because I was putting in some like real hours on the game.
oh yeah,
Like
I
I was
I was
remember
really
gonna
that.
playing
say,
for real.
like, if you ask Quinn, yo, he'll validate this. I by default, I actually I had to be outside because I was the brokest nigga on Xbox for so long, yo. Yeah, I know, like, yo,
Oh,
how many niggas just get on my
I
ass,
mean,
yo?
I
Because
don't.
listen, we was playing, them niggas was playing 2K like 14. I was still on 2K11, yo. Like for the
Oh
3 years, yo, I could not get 2K to any of them 2Ks,
shit.
yo.
I
And
forgot
then,
about. Yeah.
you actually gave me Black Ops. I didn't even have Black Ops. You just had 2 discs and you gave me one. I still got that shit to this day,
Oh
yo.
wow, shit, I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
I
Damn.
still got it
Okay.
to this day. I'm about to say, but those are the 2 games. Wow, those are literally the only 2 games I had. Those are the
I
only
wanna I
two.
wanna thank Sony. I think Xbox got some shit like that too. But game sharing, bro, for the niggas that
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
don't want to buy games, bro.
yeah.
Appreciate that shit, man. You know
I
what
was
I'm
look.
saying?
I was about to say,
Especially if
look,
you
Mm-hmm.
got a
because
partner. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
looking quick
Cause
right
me,
now.
like
Yeah.
me back in the day, you
Bro,
know what I'm saying?
the
I had
2K
me and my
franchise is
cousin,
still somehow thriving,
me and
man.
my cousin Jason, you know what I'm saying? He would either buy like the video game and I'd probably pay for like the PlayStation membership shit, like the
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
PlayStation
yep,
Plus. You know what I'm saying? And
yep,
then we might swap, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I
That's just
mean,
nah.
that
That's
shit
You
funny
just
you
was
say
got
that,
to work as a
cause
team, man. You got to work
cause
as a team
Me and Quinn been doing that shit for like
right.
5+ years
I'm
now.
ready to
Yo,
say for
like
years been game
For
sharing.
real. For real.
yes, yeah.
Just hey, You get this game, got that game, go half on this game. Like, hey, we just go ahead and get these joints and drop them.
Might just text him like, yo, I just bought this. Play up.
Like that. I just got to do Assassin's Creed in case you were wanting to play it at all. I did get it.
Right.
Just in case. That then back to the behavior thing. We'll transition that onto TikTok. And I want to get your thoughts on that. So there was an article. Do you have that? Just not the whole thing, obviously, just a little rough talking points from it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. They, I think it was the state of California. Definitely will get it pulled up. But yeah, it was state of California. Attorney General launches a nationwide investigation just into TikTok's alleged negative impact on children. And what I would say about that is, it's about damn time. It's about damn time, because I'm gonna tell you, it's funny, yo, because I see it happens so often, man. Sometimes, yo, like I'll see like the people that follow us on TikTok and everything like that, yo, and it'll like sometimes like some of them will have like the like photo images and everything. Every once in a while, like I just pop up, I'll look and I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. But then sometimes I'll look and I had to take a double take. I'm like, is that a kid? I'm like, yo, how old is? Yeah, I'm like, how old is? I'll go to the page, yo. And while I see a little yo with the sugar cookie haircut, yo, saying the joint,
man,
0.5 for the grade,
the all around,
right, the all around 0.5. Yo, he still got his hairline on the forehead like this, cause you know what I'm saying, he real young. So I'm like, yo, nah. I'm like, ain't no way you over 18.
Glad kids are still going through that, man. Bro, I'm glad kids are still going through that, man.
That's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage.
I'm already saying, like, bro, as a kid, you gotta get your head just 0.5 to the dome, bro. It's a requirement.
Jordan from Bernie Mac, yo. That's the motto.
To do it.
That's the motto, yo. The motto.
I'm glad to hear that cats are still
going through that. With the oval glasses.
Only reason I'm glad cats are still going through that is because I remember I had that in elementary school one day. I was blown going into school. I had my hood up and everything because I was like, yo, my dad cut my hair so low. Like, yo. And I remember because my best friend at the time, my man, he walked into the school the same time as me. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? I took my hood off. I was like, man, you see how he did me? He was like, man, my dad did the same thing. He took his cap off. This nigga was bald too. I was like, hey.
See me,
we're walking around the school like two milk duds.
Yeah. I want to thank the situation that I was in. The one time I ever got caught with some shit like that. It was niggas might know. It was around the time, you know what I'm saying? Report cards had just came out, you know, and every nigga has done this. Every nigga, every female, everyone who is a child has done this at one point in time. If you know your shit wasn't looking good, you pull up, open your book bag. Oh shit, I put it in there, but I don't know where it's at. And your parents know damn well that the report card's supposed to come home today, but you like, oh shit.
That's crazy.
I could have sworn I put it in here.
I never did that.
Where the hell is that? Okay, that's a fact. Just call the school.
I ain't never did that. Yeah,
got that call from the school, went straight to the shop. No, actually, I went to the garage. Got that all around. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, you know, I was feeling bad. I was like, damn, I gotta go to school like this. It was a Friday too. You know what I'm saying? It just was bad all around. Luckily, me and all my niggas, we all had the same cut. We all did the same shit.
Oh, yo.
You know, you live and you learn, man. So.
Yo, tell you, if it was anybody that got their hair cut, yo, the most, yo, niggas know it was me, man. Like I used to get my hair cut like it was no tomorrow. That shit was like almost like a Sunday ordeal. That was a whole thing, like every Sunday. Cause yo, I used to stay in trouble, yo. My dad would always cut my shit, yo. And I remember one time, yo, like I walked in the class. I think it was like the first day of school. I got in trouble literally like right before, and it's crazy because my birthday is usually always around the first day of school, and I got in trouble. So I came to school and had the 0.5, and like, you know, man, usually like me personally, if I have a choice, I always keep my hair like out, like just real big. Like, I like going my hair out. So I come to school, I got the 0.5, and I remember this white girl, yo. She said to me, she was like, cause I took my head off. And she saw this shit, and you know what I'm saying? I got a little head, yo. So yeah, especially back then, I had a little head. So she looked at me. She was like, "Oh my god, please just stop cutting your hair." I was like, I was so embarrassed. I was like, it's not even me. Like, it's my dad. She was like, "Well, stop getting in trouble. It looks bad." I'm like, damn. Yeah, it do though. It do though.
Thanks for
But
keeping it a bean, I suppose.
yeah, cause while I look like one.
Just to touch back on the topic you asked, Quinn. I personally, I mean, I'm gonna just go completely opposite. I'm gonna say I don't think it's a good idea, or maybe let me just say I don't really think I agree with them doing that. I mean, the whole investigation thing. I mean, because if it comes down to a point where they start like they widen it and it's like across like the U.S. or some shit like, and they start to what's the word I'm looking for? Like just kind of like just like water down some of the like I guess
the
content, the content and shit like that. Like I don't want to see that happen because just because like people aren't like parenting their kids, you know what I'm saying? They're letting like honestly like a lot of parents, especially when it comes to like with kids now, you know what I'm saying? They're really being raised by social media, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't really. I don't want to say I blame the kids for seeing like or like acting on what they see because that's all they see. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in this social media era, you know what I'm saying? Every kid has a phone. You know what I'm saying? Every kid has access to everything as long as they have a phone. So I feel like that probably just comes down to like honestly how people are just parenting their kids, bro. Like you can't you can't you can't you can't just implement something like that if you know what I'm saying if people aren't taking the steps that they need to you know what I'm saying like I said parent their kids on what they should see and what they should not see. You know, I don't feel like that's gonna make a difference because there's always gonna be their kids are always gonna see some negative shit as long as they have a phone or access to whatever they want when it comes to their parent not putting like parental controls and stuff like that. I feel like it's not really gonna make a difference because I feel like I mean they're gonna see violence regardless if they're playing video games or they're watching TikTok or they're watching something disrespectful.
Right.
Like it's just out there because of the era that we're in. So,
I see what you're saying. I think that there's definitely, and you brought up a very good point with them censoring creators, and I think that in itself kind of needs to be extreme. Not in itself, it needs to be extremely defined what it is that they are not allowing and what they are allowing. And the reason I say that is because, like, I agree with you. The last thing people need is to work on something. And I don't have an Instagram, but I hear this happens a lot. Is that people post specific kinds of pictures, and then their pictures or accounts are taken down. And it's because they violated some guideline that they didn't know they had violated. And it's like, well, like that needs to be very specific. Like you are not allowed to shake ass on TikTok no more. Like that if that's what it is, they gotta specify that. Like they gotta really do something about that. And then also as well, I agree with what you said, and I think that I even want to go a step further on the thing that you said, Juan, which was about the parenting. And I'm not even necessarily in regards to parenting in particular. I'm going to actually flip it on to a much more broad sense. The parenting is definitely going to make all the difference for sure. But here's what I will say that's different than there was then and now, and it's not necessarily the parenting, it's the reinforcement behind the behavior. Plain and simply, a younger girl, if she were to do like a cinnamon challenge, just for instance, or maybe do like a little skit that she did on TikTok, bro.
Challenge.
Yeah, I'm throwing throwbacks out there.
But
ALS,
it's
not even that.
like all
that shit is dangerous. God damn.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying, like,
live, bro.
Like
yeah,
bro.
Well, I'm not even gonna jump into that. I'm not even gonna jump. I don't know. I would talk about that era, the cinnamon challenge, the ice with the salt on like your body part, the ALS challenge, like all that stuff.
People was doing like the like they would lean their back against the wall and have somebody push against their chest.
make somebody pass out,
make
right?
somebody pass out. That was some
Cass was making people pass out. Yeah, there was a period of time where we just hurting ourselves for views and whatnot.
You're actually putting
people
yourself
so
at risk
stupid,
for some likes.
Yeah.
People are so fucking stupid.
The reinforcement is different now. And what I mean by that, those kinds of things, that's not going to get as much numbers as her doing like one of those Bust It challenge or something like that. That's not going to do the same numbers. You can actually get something out of doing stuff like that now, as opposed to back then. Not only were your parents like, hey, stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Stop doing that. But then also society was like, hey, she's crazy, he's wild, he's disgusting, she's nasty, like that. That's no longer a thing. And because it's no longer a thing, and now that it's not only no longer a thing, they flipped it entirely to where it's now praised. I think that definitely adds into the problem with it harming the children as well. I think the fact that negative things are praised on social media a lot more than they used to be. Before, they were acknowledged and people were laughing at Boom Gang. People were not laughing like, hey, I'm about to go do that. Like, Caps was just laughing at him, thinking like, hey, bro, you're wild. Like, this is ridiculous. But it wasn't like, you go, King. Go ahead and you're killing it out here in the comedy. Like, bro, it was just ridiculous. That's why it was so funny. It wasn't praised. And there's a difference.
I mean, the way I feel about it really is, like Juan said, man, like you're gonna see what you see regardless, you know what I mean? And there's gonna be a point in time when that happens. And there's really no way to honestly censor that without like complete like celibacy from it. So but it's like, but then it's like you fight yourself, like, and this is, I guess, like as a parent, like what a parent would think, like it's like you fighting yourself thinking like, oh man, but they really do need the phone because some educational things could arrive from that. Maybe I need to call them, like, or something like that, but then it's like at the same time it's just like you're not gonna be there. You're not you're not gonna be there 24/7 with them. So it's just like, and then you have like kids that really more experienced and exposed to those type of things, and then word of mouth happens, you know what I'm saying, the grapevine, like, oh yo, did you see this and that, and oh, you ain't see it, like, that's because you don't have an Instagram. Yo, make an Instagram, like, fuck mommy and daddy, like, do that shit, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, that's how it happens, you know what I'm saying, like, I remember like a big one, like personally, like one that I thought was like the most toxic thing in the world, yo, like Facebook, yo. When that joint first came out, yo, I think Facebook was one of the most toxic things in the world, yo. I don't know, I think now it's probably a little bit better because people actually do like go to Facebook to like do business, and like I'll talk to like customers at like my job, and they're like, yeah, you know, I do my business through like Facebook, and I have like people order stuff. Yeah, it's like
professional now.
It's a lot more. That's what honestly, like, if you think like if I'm like, you tell me to go make a Facebook, that's probably gonna be like the one that I let my family members see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I let my family members. That's the one you
actually have family members.
I'm about to say, like, I look like a wholesome ass dude.
You got Facebook, that's like your rated E for everybody, and then you got like Instagram, that's like what's one rated like T?
It's PG.
Honestly, bro.
No, that's T for teen.
When it comes to
T for teen. Okay, for
and then Twitter is
M-rated.
Anything goes, bro. It goes anything.
M-rated.
Bro, they got porn. They got is everything on Twitter, bro.
Even with Instagram, you damn near got. I mean, it's close to it. Damn near.
But that's the thing too. Is just like because like you want to live like, or when you're a kid, like you look up to certain people, like obviously you look, you know, you got your mom and your dad, but it's like you idolize people a lot more. Like, so now it's like, oh, I love Spider-Man. Like, okay, I want to see who Spider-Man is. Now I look up Spider-Man on Google. Google gonna give you everything. You see Tom Holland. And like, oh man, okay, that's what Spider-Man is. So great. Wow. All right, cool. I'm gonna see what Tom Holland's about. Okay, who's Zendaya? That's what Spider-Man's dating. Oh, great. Let me see Zendaya. Perfect. What's Euphoria? And you know what I'm saying? And that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Now you pop with pills in the back of your middle school bathroom because you want to be like Euphoria. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it happens. Like it's literally just like that
Yeah.
because it's so. Oh, it's like
Nah,
the
it's
internet
pretty
is
wild.
literally like its own world, y'all. Like you go to the internet to get literally the things that you cannot, things that you never feel like you could get in your life, in your real life. You go to the internet to either look at it, dream about it, manifest it, or
Yeah.
simply just, you know what I'm saying, you think about whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the shit's right there.
And that's the
Right
problem.
there.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem.
It's
But there's no
right
way
there.
to get around that because
Nope.
then at the same
No.
time, now you're censoring everything. And
Yeah.
then you could either raise a kid that is now gonna be afraid to go outside when outside time comes,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody's just socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? And doesn't
Yeah.
understand like how to really interact and
That's
what
a
is
big
good and
thing.
what is bad. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
a big thing nowadays. Is
Mm-hmm.
the social interactions have gotten more and more awkward, and also more and more scarce. It has
Yeah.
gotten so bad. I think somebody brought this up a few days ago in a video I was listening to, and it's a little weird when you actually think about it. But cats are so against going out and meeting people and going to like a bar or a party or something, for instance, and just talking to people, seeing what kind
Mm-hmm.
of connections can be formed,
I don't
but
know why, man.
are quick to swipe. All right, come over to my house and let's
Right.
hook up.
Yeah, that's so weird, Joe.
Cats
Like
are quick.
I don't
Cats are
see.
I know.
You
quick
can't just talk to
to do
I
stuff.
never
motherfuckers,
got
though.
a
Like,
dating app, so I never got a dating app. So what are you really gonna find on Christian Mingle, yo?
A
Like
Christian who would like to hook up, I assume.
go to
Probably.
church. Why can't you just go to
No,
church?
yeah, exactly.
Why can't
Exactly.
you just I'm gonna say like, you trying to meet somebody on Christian Mingle, just go to church, yo. Like
you
Also, as
got
but
well,
you
it's
I'm
got
gonna
most
say
people's
that one.
perceptions,
You
man.
got the farmer. You got the farmers.com. It's some wild shit
Bro,
out there.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
ruined
telling you, I
perception.
promise,
Wild
I'm
shit.
telling you, I'm telling you, pull up on Sunday in your best fit, put a little something extra in the collection plate, and
Yeah.
you're good. You're good. Like it's you.
On that tier list you were saying, one, oddly enough, I think TikTok falls between Twitter and Instagram. I think that it's worse than
Yeah.
Instagram, but slightly better than Twitter as far as the like content
I
they
feel
put
like
out.
it's slight.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
it's slightly under
Yeah,
Twitter as far as
yeah,
like
that's what
what
I'm
you can
saying.
see. Oh,
That's
okay,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
slightly under Twitter, but you see more on TikTok than you would on
Then you do it
Instagram
Instagram, right? Okay.
because
Yeah.
TikTok, there, bro, there's some TikToks that you're like,
Yeah, I done seen some wild shit.
whoa, whoa.
Wild shit.
I mean,
Like TikTok has just flat out sexual challenges. Like
Yeah,
just flat out challenges that are just like made to be provocative. Nothing more,
yeah,
nothing less. Just
that's
a
true.
challenge to do something, and it's crazy. And it, like you were talking about, as far as the social interactions go, it really does ruin perception. I hear it spoken about a lot when it comes to women having unrealistic standards when it comes to men as far as dating goes. I'm not getting into that, but as far as what they say, the generalization is that so a lot of times women can tend to be over the top. But then I got to flip that back on the male side as well. Bruh, all these Instagram models you're seeing and all these OnlyFans girls you're seeing are not real women, bro. You're not going to see these. Like, it ruins how a regular person looks to you and how you should interact with them. A person who's on your level almost doesn't even seem worth it subconsciously anymore to a
Mm.
lot of people because
yeah,
it's like, bro, I'm paying $25 a month to see a girl who looks three times as good as you, and she's messaging me back like, bro, I don't care
No,
about
that's
this. I'm about
wild.
that's
to just
insane,
like,
yo.
bro,
That's
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 really
insane.
wild.
people. Like,
That's
bro, this
insane,
is
but
seeping
that's
that
facts
deep into
though. That's
people's
Yeah,
brain. Like, it's really
that's
seeping
that's
that
real shit.
deeply into
That's
yeah.
real
people's
shit.
brains. And then just
That's
even to bring it
man.
back as well to like the gaming aspect as well, Javen. This is the only example I'll give of that is that it ruined. You gotta be realistic in your perception of reality, bro. Like, you gotta be understanding what you're going through. And the only example I give is a
Mhm.
2K joint. We played in a 2K league for one round. We tried to go ahead and face a team that was a professional team that they played 2K for real. Like, they really put in 2K work. They
Yeah,
bust us up, right? We lose that. So then we go ahead and we watch it back because they were streaming it. One, this was our
he was
first
getting on our
game as
ass.
a team.
He
Our
was getting on our
team,
ass.
this was our first game and second game of the day. We hopped online and jumped straight into playing them guys. On their stream, they acknowledged this was their 20th game of the day.
Yeah,
We
Damn,
were
bro.
our series that we were in a competition. was their 20th game of the day.
You know how much time that is, though?
Bro,
they was warmed up. They was more than warm.
They played 4 quarters, 5-minute quarters.
That's a good hour and a half on
19
TK.
games they played before they came to play
game.
us. They played 19 games before they played us.
Niggas literally playing that shit like overnight, bro.
Bro, that's insane.
Yeah.
And that's where I come down to reality, bro. We'll never reach that level. And we'll never reach it, not because we can't, but because frankly, the people we were playing, we outside. We didn't really have we really didn't have an interest in playing. I'm outside. I did not have any interest in putting in that much work into 2K. And then also, it comes down to like the risk reward benefit. What you're putting into it is just not worth what you're getting out of it, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and then it's just because you even take it back to flip it back on just that when we was kids, man, like when Vine came out. Vine was definitely that was his TikTok of the day. And it's funny because you look back on Vine, yo, like the videos that were made, it was so many just messages that either made no sense or they just promoted shit that just okay, you really should not be getting. Like for example, I can't tell you how many Vines I have seen back in the day of a nigga going out of his way to save his pair of Jordans from getting dirty or something like that. Like I seen a nigga actively trying to
actual skits
push actual skits of a nigga trying to push somebody into a pool. That's what I'm saying. Like people just tossing them around, it's just insane because the toxic factor of it, man, is I remember I used to be on Vine all night, yo. I would be on my phone, literally, wake up. I'm sorry, not even wake up, but just look up. It's 3 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get ready for school in 3 hours. Yeah, God, I gotta
7 seconds add up.
I'm about to say, I'm 7 seconds turning into 7 hours. I'm like, yo, and that's how it is on TikTok, yo. I remember one time, when I was first downloaded TikTok and everything, I was like, oh, these videos are kind of funny, yo. Oh, well, I'm geeking. Oh, okay. whoa, that's funny. And then next thing I know, I'm scrolling through the videos. Next thing I know, it's a stewardess guy come on the phone. And he's like, hey man, I don't know what you've been doing. It seems like you've been scrolling for a long time here. Why don't you go outside, take some time, eat a sandwich? I'm like, yo, but that's what I'm starting to realize. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I was on this. I looked up. This was it was legitimately, it was an hour, yeah. And I was like, yeah, never again.
Remember that was a thing for the Wii, the console. If you were playing on the Wii for so long,
for me, I used to go crazy.
It would come up and say that
the boxing.
Oh
shit.
Wow!
Like me and my cousin Jason, we would go crazy on the actual boxing to the point where we would be playing that shit for at least 3 hours straight.
Yeah. Maybe it was because maybe it came with the attachment of something because I also had. A little. What was the thing that you stepped on for the Wii? I forget what that little.
Talking about the Wii Fit joint.
Yeah, that's it. And I think maybe it's because of that, but I definitely recall playing, and then after a game or two of Wii Sports or something, it'll be like, hey, maybe you should take a little 15 minutes. Go open a window. Go get a drink. Go take a drink or something. Go for a walk, and then come back and play.
I'm trying to be active. Fuck all that.
No, yeah, right. Man, shut this healthy shit up, man. I'm trying to get back to the game.
It's I'm playing tennis, aren't I? Goddamn it. Get back to the game, yo.
Man. Exactly. But yeah. And so closing this one out, I would say, or I say ask, actually, my bad. I will ask. Transition this into you're talking about athletics being, being active athletes, professional athletes. Talking to James Hardens, I'm talking to LeBron Jameses, I'm talking to Kevin Durant's. Do you think professional athletes of that level, I mean to say, are overpaid? Tens of millions, hundreds of millions for your sport. That's what you're playing. Obviously, you're bringing in view eyes, so I know that yes, there's a reason that they're getting the money. But I'm curious, do you think that that's overpaid?
Let me say this. I think some people are overpaid, not because not because those contracts should be non-existent, but I just think some people are more deserving of those contracts than other people are. For
Okay.
like, for example, like I remember a good point in time. When everybody was saying like, "Oh man, like yo, they pay money to be just to be a bench player on the NBA." You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you be a bench player in the NBA making $5 million a
Five
year.
mil.
Like
Five
Right.
mil.
let's say
Boy,
$5 million a year.
you living lavish as a
Oh, that's
bench
right.
player.
Yeah.
I'm about to say you sit down on
I
the
ain't
bench like,
complaining.
you sit on the bench
This
like
shit ain't half
fucking.
bad.
It's like woo, Miami.
Right.
Yeah,
Especially if you're in a
LeBron.
good city, man.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly, yo. But I said like those people, yeah. Like I remember, it was somebody that had got like so much money. I'm just like him. Like why? Like what is he gonna do? Like what is he doing? Like that's how I feel, man. And to be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think they overpaid Kyrie. And they gotta stop
Sheesh.
paying that. I'm not saying they gotta stop paying that, brother, but I mean, it's like, are you getting your money's worth? Yeah, that's my dog too.
He's a
So that's my
part-time
dog.
player, man. He's a
That's my
part-time
dog
player
too.
currently.
But it's just like, and granted, I'm gonna say this too, because I mean, I know he don't know, like he doesn't foresee certain things happening, but when it comes to Kyrie, you definitely gonna get a little bit of a pushback depending on what that is, you know what I'm saying? Because he's just very adamant, very stuck in his ways, and rightfully so, rightfully so. But for a business, you know what I'm saying, that don't always work well for the business, because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
like you got people like me, like yo, like I got a whole jersey by you, nigga, but you'll never be wearing it. It's like, come on, y'all. Like I was saying, like I had to. I know you don't see the Amex commercials. You know what I'm saying about the jersey insurance. Yeah, like this man Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Like I promise you, people like him is saving cash a lot of money when it comes to them jersey swaps. Yeah, he call
Mm-hmm.
in like, it's Kyrie again. Yep. It's like, where's he headed to this time? Back to Cleveland. It's like, yeah, but you don't even know. So I think people like that, yeah, sometimes they're just getting overpaid. You know, but are they deserving of the contracts? Or the contract deserve to be there? Definitely so. Because I mean, it's entertaining basketball 100% of the time. And yeah, if you're that level of player, like I say all the time, basketball is the most entertaining sport out of all of them. Maybe you know what? Tied with boxing. Tied with boxing.
Personally.
Basketball is them two. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I was just saying for basketball for me personally is probably like the most
Most entertaining.
entertaining. Yeah.
I think it's objectively the most entertaining because it has the most going on any given
Don't let
second.
a soccer fan
Any
hear you
given
say
second.
that. Don't let a soccer fan hear you say that. Because I know
Oh yeah.
I
Well, you
can,
know what
yeah,
though?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
when
true.
it
Nah,
comes
but
to soccer, you
get
got to think of
it get yeah.
how
That's
many
true.
countries actually are dedicated to
And you know what?
football, actually, football or whatever they call it.
And you know what? Okay. You know what? Damn. Mm, mm.
Because
I'm not.
I've been in a situation where like especially in Atlanta, like we got like Atlanta United, and um, uh, from what I hear, they're pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? From what I hear, but I
Mm,
mean, it's like just especially being in that environment. I feel like that's another thing that plays a part into it too, as far as like the whole entertaining aspect. Like I feel like being in that environment is gonna the answer is gonna vary as far as like when it comes to like sport to sport because just like
Hmm.
somebody who like watches like football games and actually goes to football games, their answers might be completely different. Like I love football, but I would rather go to a basketball game than a football game. But I mean, like I said, the answer varies differently. But just to touch back on what you said, um, honestly, I, I mean, I would think so. I would think maybe at some point they are overpaid. I always just view, but I said, like I said, I've spoke about this before. Like for somebody who like me who loves basketball and loves the game of basketball, I always look at basketball as just something that like a passion, like something you just enjoy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the shit's competitive and stuff like that. So when I look at like ways players should make their money, or at least the majority of their money, is based off of like your endorsements and stuff like that. But when it comes down to like contracts, some of them definitely are justified, but like just like how Javen said, you got other contracts where it's like, you know what I'm saying, you got this player that's making this amount of money, but you know what I'm saying, you got people who are not just like entertainers, but like even like if it's people like in a like educational system and stuff like that, like people who are like literally doing things that are actually important, not just entertaining, but like actually like
critical
you know
to
what I'm saying, teaching
society
critical to
success.
society who aren't
Right.
who are making, you know what I'm saying, pennies compared to the shit that these NBA contracts, NFL contracts are looking like.
Right.
Don't even get me
Making
started
hundreds
with
of thousands
baseball contracts. That
instead of
should be out the
millions.
fucking roof. But yeah, I just feel like when it comes to stuff like that, I understand these guys definitely are entertainers, whether it be sports or music or anything like that, because those are all things we talk about. But when it comes down to like the critical jobs or like essential jobs and stuff like that, I feel like that's when I look at it. It's like that's when I kind of look at it, it's like, okay, maybe there's certain ways that are, like that's, you know, saying that these players are being overpaid. You know, just instances like that.
I have a point and then I have a question. But before I do that, is something you wanted to say, Javen?
Nah, I mean, I was just gonna say like, I definitely see that. And then again, as well, I see is that I think it really shows how valuable you are, not only to the sport, I'm sorry, to the organization that you play for and the sport in
Mm-hmm.
itself and the fans, but also to like networks, like network stations and things like that,
Yeah,
because it's almost like,
that's another
for
thing.
example, it's like, okay, it's like I'm LeBron James, right? So now I know I can leverage, like I need this amount of money minimum, because if you don't have, and you're probably gonna get to me, because if you don't have me, well then there goes your TV time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And there goes your
your
amount
ratings.
of view, yeah, your amount of viewers,
Mm-hmm.
ratings, things like that. So it's almost like okay, like I'm willing to pay that penny, so that way not only, so now as a team owner, as an organization, now I look better. Now it's more of a free agent market. We keep winning
Yeah,
championships. Now we keep getting paid more. We have more of this. We have more of that, and it works well for them. But I will say, it is crazy and asinine that organizations like that have that much money, like that many millions to
yeah,
go around, as far as like just because even if you just like, even if you paid just everybody on the team 10 million, it's a 13-man roster. I
yeah.
mean, dang, like that's
You know how much money they still got
that's
left over that?
I was like, that's
Where I said
yeah, that's
all their
130
eggs are not in one
million.
basket with that. Like
I'm about to say,
they've got
yeah,
some money to spend. So the
yeah.
point that I wanted to make is, I think that you brought up a good perspective, Javen, that got me thinking. And then on top of that as well, I'll say I think that the payment, and I didn't think about it like this before you brought up that point. I think the payment is compensation for handing your life over. Because for you to reach that level, you don't know nothing but what you're doing. You don't
That
know
is
nothing
very
but
true.
basketball, bro, and you've given up a lot to
That is
do
very
that.
true.
So because of that, and you're giving up a lot to maintain that level of skill. That
Right.
being the case, they say, all right, we'll at least pay
Yeah,
for everything for you. If we're
right.
going to literally take the prime physical years of your life and
Mm-hmm.
essentially pimp you out to a degree, we'll compensate you well. And so, but then that leads me to the question that I had, which is, what if instead of insane contracts, they just gave every player amount of money that you would need to retire on? And I don't mean retire for the rest of your life. I'm talking about retirement money, because if I'm according to what I've heard, who said it? Kevin Samuel said it. I believe he said that he did the math and it was like you need 2.5 million to last you from like 60 till death. Obviously, if you live from 60 to 70, you won't need that. But if you plan on living like close to 100, you're gonna need, because at 60 you gotta get about the workforce. So because of that, from then to the time you die, you need about 2.5 million. My question to y'all: what if instead of these insane contracts, they just paid them out at the end of their careers? They were like, "Hey, bro, obviously they got their contracts, so the contract instead of it being 100 million would be like low
10
single
million
digit
over
million.
5 years.
Yeah, low single digit,
So
low
you get like
double
2
digit
million a year.
millions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of your career, they give you like 2.5 as like a severance package. Now, overall, you wouldn't be $100 million man, but again, and I understand that there's a difference because I've never touched that kind of money, so my perspective is extremely skewed. But I think that lifestyle just kind of everything stops blending once you reach around like the 10 million mark. Like, I don't think that there's that different of a lifestyle unless you
Well,
purposefully get excess shit that you don't
I t-
need from like a $10 million man to $100 million man.
I'll tell you this. This is why that wouldn't work. Is because and this what really is what's happened over the years. Like that's how it transitioned into actually getting to like these type of contracts because
Mm-hmm.
players start to realize, oh, like you're making money because of me. Like my
Mm-hmm.
jersey is selling. Like that's why we like that keeps the lights on in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I need more of that. Lockout season. Let's go. Lockout season. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that wouldn't work. Cause albeit that would be a good way to go. You know what I mean? Because who the hell is going to like give that up? Who the hell is going? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you gonna tell me it's because it's pretty much like a pension, like getting like a pension or getting like Social Security at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year. You know what I'm saying? When you retire, but to them, you know, it's just like I'm worth more than that, and I understand that. Like like know your worth. You preach that all the time. I know your worth. If you know you're worth more than that, it's like why would you even try to settle for less? You know what I mean? So I understand that. I definitely get it. Now there's some people that feel that definitely got a bigger appetite. You know what I'm saying? Than what they can really chew. But
Yeah,
you know,
hey, man, that leads it, and we're gonna go ahead and call it there because that leads into a big existential question. Because what that leads me to questioning is like what that big question leads me now to believe are the employees more important than the owners?
I think so. I think so. I
I'm not
think
saying
you really,
again. I'm talking about like just like the general idea of that. You know, the fact that like
yeah.
say you work at a warehouse and you were like, man, y'all ain't getting no product out if we just choose not to do this, man. And we're not doing it unless you increase our pay. So we're done.
That's how you got. That's
We could make that a
Yeah,
whole
like
topic.
that's a whole thing, man. But like the reason I asked that is
If
because
we
the reason
kept
I asked
on,
that question is because I don't know if I can. I mean, I do agree, but in that same breath, it's like, well, yeah, LeBron, you're definitely right. We will get a whole bunch of views and all that, but I'm sure we'll come across somebody who can do similar. I'm sure we can come across two people who combined could do your numbers. I understand that you yourself could pull this in, but if we big up these two other guys that are willing to do it for what we're offering, we can get the same shit we got with you. So, what makes you so important? And then I'm just speaking from like the owner's perspective. You know, it's a big question because it's like
it's a
I
big
agree with
question.
what you're saying because it's like yeah, I keep the lights on. Like people wearing my jersey to they're not coming here to see the owner. They're coming here
Exactly.
because of me. But also in that same breath, they wouldn't be coming anywhere without the owner. You'd still be at the park trying to go ahead and feel like not getting paid either.
It's
Like
almost like
so.
what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's like which
Yeah, it's
one?
like I don't really know. Like you
Because you can go
you
back and
need them
forth. Like
both.
yeah,
You
you can
really
be
do.
like you ain't gonna have no facility if there's nobody playing in the gym.
That's what
especially
I'm saying.
if it just like how Javen said with the
Yeah,
lockout season, if it gets to a standpoint where everybody's like, well, I don't care whatever you think I'm worth, I want to get paid this, and then nobody is fucking working. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it's like,
kind of.
yeah,
I think
you
that
can
there
be
was
an
something like
owner,
that
you
before.
can
Yeah,
have all this money, but now you ain't got no staff, no one who's gonna still bring you that say that constant revenue now. But I mean,
that
that's
was
just a
the
whole other
yeah
thing.
that was a discussion during the pandemic or during the bubble when the NBA teams were playing in the bubble. Something had happened. So many things have happened in the past year. I can't even
Yeah,
necessarily remember, but something had happened, and they were debating on whether or not they were going to play. And when it comes down to stuff like that in those situations, it's like it's a battle of attrition. Who's really going to be able to outlast? Who's going to really sit in their? Who's going to stand on their square the longest? The cat who can dish out, like you said, $10 million to 13 individuals, or you who has 15 million to your name. Like, who really is going to be able to stand here and be like, I'm not moving longer? Because it's a question of who needs who more. And that's where the debate comes in, truthfully. Is like, who needs who more? Does the employee need the owner more than the owner needs the employee?
That's true.
I don't know. That's a thinker right there. But I gotta say, shout out to the people listening. Shout out to the people watching and rocking with us. We're gonna keep doing more. We're gonna keep improving. And again, another great episode. Thank you, gentlemen. And Inside Wolves, we are out.
For more Inside Wolf content, make sure to subscribe and make sure to hit that link tree in our bio to bring you to all our platforms. Let's get it.